You're literally glaring into the camera right now.
Hello,
everybody.
I have a really quick question for Steve before we go totally on show. Steve, when I clicked ask to unmute like 50 times, did you get like a pop-up or something? Like, what was that?
Yeah, and I blocked your bitch ass.
All right, well, I'm muting you again.
You can't mute me, I'll mute myself.
That's great.
Oh, I muted you. Let me ask you to unmute.
God,
okay.
I need a mute button so that I can, burp and cough without having to find the settings in the system.
With the Blue Yeti, the mute button.
I know.
Push of a finger. Blue Yeti.
Or you
for
get
the
one of those
ultimate in
headsets.
podcasting experience.
Or you get one of those headsets that has the flip-up microphone.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome
Fuck.
to Infendo Radio.
I have that, but
614.
it's not a good microphone. So.
Guys, is this episode 614? We're about to go live.
We are live.
We're about to go live. We're about to start the show.
No.
Yes,
Let's start the
yes.
show.
Yes,
Yes, it's
Hi,
6:14.
everybody.
Yes. Oh, this is a nightmare.
Talk about a cold open, Steve. Let's level out this audio actually first before we go completely live. Original audio is
Thank
on.
you for using my stinger, Eugene.
You're welcome. You know why I did that, Steve? It's because it was the easiest thing to do. So thank you for making my
Do
job
you know how
easy.
long I've wanted that to be a thing? That was like the one that I always thought we had that we didn't.
Well, I'll take it.
I'm gonna use this thing.
Hold on. How does this sound with Lucas?
This 100% pre-recorded episode of Infendo Radio, you'll absolutely love the live stream. Head on over to twitch.tv.
Too loud?
Music's a little loud.
Okay.
I sound beautiful.
And check original audio too, because it was distorted.
Original audio is on. Thank you, Steve.
I answered
Thank
my
you,
own
Slippy.
question. This is 614. Slippy here. I'm
Wah, wah,
okay.
wah, 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 wah.
I think I'm a little more peppy.
Yeah, definitely today you're absolutely peppy. Like, that is, yeah, God damn, no, look at him. He looks like Peppy.
He freaking does look like Pepe.
Can we get
Guys-
him the Robotnik goggles?
Guys, you remember when Pepe pretended to kill himself in Starbucks assault? That was so dramatic.
Enjoying
Eugene, it
this
got louder.
100% pre-recorded episode of Infendo Radio, you'll absolutely
It's because I turned on the original audio. Okay, let's try that again.
Twitch.tv/Infendo.
Wait until it gets to the crescendo.
Enjoying this 100% pre-recorded episode of Infendo Radio, you'll absolutely love the live stream. Head on over to twitch.tv/Infendo
It's
Radio.
good.
Thursday night.
It's subtle, but I like it.
7:30.
He gets really loud there. Maybe I don't use. Maybe I don't
this
use
just
this
isn't a
track.
good track.
Yeah, maybe that's not a good track. Let's try this.
I mean, it's majestic.
Thank you.
This one's a little
That's what
better.
they all say.
How does this get about? Okay, this one looks a little better. So how does this sound?
Enjoying
with
this 100% pre-recorded episode of Infendo Radio,
Better?
you'll
I think
absolutely
we're
love.
Okay, guess we'll live with that, and then we will put a note because we are not starting the show a minute and 30 seconds ago. We're starting it right here, and away we go.
Enjoying this 100% pre-recorded episode of Infendo Radio, you'll absolutely love the live stream. Head on over to twitch.tv/Infendo Radio, Thursday nights at 9:30 Eastern, 7:30 Who Gives a Crap time.
We put the donkey in Donkey Kong. Infendo
Fuck.
Radio is on
Kind of fucked that
now.
one up, but oh well.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Infendo Radio. I hope Eugene doesn't edit any of that. Oh, man. My name is Lukas, as if you didn't already know that. I am joined by a full house of colorful cast and characters. This is episode 614, so thank you so much for joining us. And if you've been around for the other 613 episodes, really, thank you so much
Yeah,
for joining us.
well done.
Yeah,
You've been around longer than we have.
Eugene, I'm going to give you an opportunity to redeem yourself here in the eyes of all of our viewers. How are you doing tonight, and where can the people find you?
Doing pretty good. I am tired as usual. Toddlers are tiring. Don't have one if you crave sleep. You can find me.
They're also very acrobatic, it seems.
Yes, very much so. You can find me on Infendo.com. You can also find me getting my child from spaces where he cannot get down.
Perfect. Justin, what spaces can you not get down from?
Well, I'll tell you one space that I can't get into, and that's this lovely place behind me, Walt Disney World. But you can find me on thedisneyparkbench.com, where I do write and podcast and other things about Walt Disney World. You can also follow me on Twitter at InfendoJustin to see everything I have to say about my other favorite company, Nintendo.
Beautiful. Well, you can actually find me on a website called YouTube if you search for Lukas Peace, Lukaspeace. And I would like you to do that because I've been posting some videos that I want you to see, especially if you listen to this podcast, because that means we have a special relationship. I posted a video yesterday about the game that I'm making. You should go check that out. That's super cool. I've been keeping that all under wraps. Nobody knew about that. And today, I posted the first in a Let's Play series I've been doing with Steve. Yes, that's Steve, where we played Mario Maker together. We played each other's levels. It was super fun and super hilarious. So please, go check out my channel and get in on all that. Like me and share me.
Has anybody played my levels?
I played them back in the day, but, hit me up, bro. I got 20 episodes. Let's do it, Steve. Round 2, Mario Maker, buddy. But tonight, we are not going to talk about that. Tonight, we are going to talk about everything Nintendo, really. We are going to take the shortest of breaks, but we will be right back on the tail end of that with some stuff.
Hello, we're back.
Hello, we're back. We weren't totally planning out the show behind your back or anything like that. We know exactly what we're going to talk about. We're not scared at all. You don't intimidate us at all. We're not trying to impress you. You're trying to impress us.
Exactly. All right, let's go with this next track. And then let's find some people to talk over it. Opening, no. I have too many buttons here. Let's go with Justin, I guess. He'll ask us about...
I like some of our old stingers that were like 40 seconds long and we're like...
I know, right?
I like video games, but when I don't like video games, I like pepperoni pizzas. You know, Infendo's a lot like a pepperoni pizza. Soft on the outside, chewy on the inside, a little flaky.
And very spicy too. Here,
And
let's
you
try
can
this
find
one.
us at
Infendo.com is the place to go
patreon.com.
if you want to get
Good?
everything
Bad?
that we are
Yeah.
doing. Head to our Patreon, go to
Okay, then I will start with that audio level and we'll work our way down, and away we go.
Infendo.com is the place to go if you want to get everything that we are doing. Head to our Patreon, go to our Discord. Even Steve's Discord lives there. Go to Infendo.com today.
Gentlemen, there was Pokemon news this week. They released a couple of trailers. First, I actually got these like as ads in my feed, which was kind of fun. First, there was the Diamond and Pearl one, which just looks like Diamond and Pearl. Like, I have no news on that. Like, it looks fine, but it's just Diamond and Pearl. You know, they showed off like some cities and some Pokemon and some battling. And I stand by my opinion. I think the game looks cute. It reminds me of like Link's Awakening on, Switch. But yeah, it's
reminds me of what Pokemon games should look like. Unless they're big, sprawling open world games.
Yeah, exactly. Good freaking segue. That is the news of the night. That is actually the important thing tonight. I want to talk to you guys about that. Have either of you seen the new trailer that leaked or didn't really leak, that dropped this week?
I saw
No.
it, but I didn't get to like dive into it. I would just like had it on in the background when I was working,
So let me kind of take you through a quick summary of what we found out, because we found out a lot actually, and it sounds like there's going to be some kind of familiar gameplay making its way in. You already know that you're going to be working for basically Team Galactic in this game. They're like a research group. They're not an evil, supposedly they're not an evil organization bent on destroying the world and reshaping it in their own image. We shall see how creative the Pokemon Company gets with that. I feel like the best they've ever done is the Ether Foundation from like Sun and Moon, but short of that,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was kind of like a secret twist that we all saw coming anyway.
Mhm.
But yeah, so you work as like a Team Galactic like researcher. You go out in the field, you collect Pokemon and stuff. They introduced I'm so sorry I did not do my homework on this. I want to say they're called warlords, but they could have been like anything like lieutenants or something. Basic premise is there are Pokemon and there are people who are kind of the guardians of specific regions, kind of like gym leaders. And it is your job to go out and challenge these people to battles, challenge these Pokemon to battles, and kind of experience the boss battles that, come with it. So one of the one of the really cool things is they showed off a new Pokemon called Cleaver, I believe was his name, who looks to be a Scyther evolution, kind of like how they've been doing like the Hisuian versions of like
Right.
Pokemon and stuff, and how they develop in different ways. Like Basculin has an evolution. Yeah, and he's basically just a big rock bug with giant cleavers for arms, kind of like what Scissor would evolve into. And they showed off the battle for him. It's kind of a combo of the turn-based Pokemon battles and like jumping out of the way and dodging attacks as he goes after you, and you having to like dodge him and throw like food at him to like tranquilize him, throw balls at him to try to catch him. Really interesting looking gameplay. Like they've shown off so little of the game, but what they've shown off is just so exciting. I pre-ordered this game like the day I was able to. I'm really looking forward to this.
I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I'm almost positive that I'm going to get it, especially since my kids want it too. So that gives me a good excuse.
It looks so good. It looks like it's gonna be
Dude.
just so good.
They showed off too. There's going to be specific Pokemon that you can ride on, and it looks like it's going to be all the new Pokemon that are being introduced. So like the evolved form of Stantler, the big deer Pokemon with the beard, Eldeer or whatever his name is. Boy, if it's not Eldeer, it should be Eldeer. You can ride on him and everything. They have the evolved form of Braviary, and you can fly around on it. The evolved form of Basculin you can swim with. But it's more than just like, sometimes in the Pokemon games, like flying on a bird Pokemon is selecting fly and going to the next town or the next area and stuff.
Right.
You can actually like free roam, fly like under like cliffs and on top of mountains.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't see that.
Yeah, it looks really good. Like, it's a little worrying because I feel like they're being really selective with what they show off. And of course, you know, then you go into Twitter and everybody's like, this game looks like it was made in 2003. These graphics are a bit. Pokemon Company are lazy pieces of crap. But, you know, short of that, like, I'm happy that I like things because I'm really excited for this game. And it would be such a bad game to go into, like, you know, overly negative. Like, I really want this game to be good. I'm really excited for this game. So, yeah, that's Pokemon Legends.
I'm really excited about this game too, and I know I get excited like every other Pokemon game and say, oh, this is the one that's really gonna suck me in, but like even Sword and Shield kind of sucked me in more than a Pokemon game has since Diamond and Pearl. So like to have this big open world on top of all of the improvements they've already made, I think is, you know, really, really appealing to me. So
just because you're I want to make this point because I feel like there's a big like stigma in gaming, quote unquote, culture, if you can describe what we have as a culture, that like to like a game you have to put like 400 hours into it, or you know, that kind of stuff. And like the more time you put into a game, the more respected you are within that game's community and stuff like that. Like you're allowed to consider yourself being sucked into a Pokemon game that you put 10 hours into, you know. Like I think that's a viable point. You know, if you fell in love with the game and you played a lot of it for like a week and that was it, like you had a good time with it, you know. That shouldn't discount your you always seem to enjoy Pokemon. You just don't dive into them like heavy. You play a little bit, you get your fix, and then you're out, you know.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I'm trying to look at these games, you know. Like I there are certain games that I will probably never finish. Like I'll probably never finish The Witcher 3. Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever finish Skyrim. You know, like I've never finished a Pokemon game, but I can sit down and I can play them for hours and hours and hours until I kind of fizzle out on them. But I enjoyed my time with them, so it wasn't a waste.
I don't even consider, like, it's funny that you would say that because like I finally finished Skyrim a couple of years ago, I guess, at this point, and I don't even think of that. I think of that game as like Minecraft, you know. It's like the story is so minimal to the experience that it's like, and it's, I'm sure Witcher is like that. I'm sure a lot of the games are like that. Like, yeah, no, you like a game, you play a game, that's really all that matters, you know. Like gaming doesn't have to be this like, you know, badge of, oh, well, I put 500 hours into Warframe this month, you know, like that kind of thing. Like, you know,
or 400 hours into Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah,
right.
Who would ever do something like that? I will say, I know we want to have another conversation here, so I'll kind of keep this brief, but I will say I get really frustrated like that every game has like monthly events that demand my time. Like before the show we were talking to Steve, and it's like the new Mario Golf event is already out, and if you want to get multicolored toads that you can play as, you gotta go get it because it's a limited time thing. You know, last month was Boo in a Visor, so it's like you gotta log in. You gotta get that character's special outfit before it's gone forever. It's like, you know, I like unlockables. I just wish that they weren't like time locked to the point where it's like every game is like, you better be playing me this month, or you know, that kind of thing. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the things that tends to turn me off about games. You know, I've fizzled out on
well, that's going to need a little edit.
Okay, I wasn't the only one hearing that.
You fizzled out on.
Okay, did anybody else hear?
Yes, we all.
Just keep going.
We all heard the noise.
Just making sure. I fizzled out on. I don't remember what game I was going to say. The chime distracted me. Oh, I remember. Okay. I fizzled out on Animal Crossing after, you know, a few months, and, you know, now I'm kind of feeling myself fizzling out on Mortal Kombat after a few months of nightly updates and all that. You know, it gets exhausting after a while when I feel like I have to play it in order to get my, you know, I guess money's worth. You know, it just kind of stops being worth it. Whereas you know what I've been playing for the past few weeks? A GameCube game.
You know what I've been playing for the past
Yeah, there
few
you go.
weeks? I've been playing The Sims 3.
And there's an ending to it. I've almost reached it.
I've been just making families and living their lives, and that's how I unwind at the end of the day now. As I log in, and I'm just like, all right, let's see what my vampire is going to do this week. Is he going to murder someone? Is he going to,
I've been thinking about getting that Cities Skylines game on the Switch.
Yeah, it's always on sale too.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it's got some major performance issues if you get far enough in it. But
which one of us doesn't? Am I right, fellas?
But I mean, that's just the type of game like when that, I don't remember the name of it, but there was a Sim Tower clone that we got a review code for.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I put a bunch of hours into that, and I'll still boot it up occasionally, but yeah, like that's the type of game that you play it until you tire of it, and then you either start all over again or,
which is what a game should be. A game shouldn't be a career, Right. Anyway, before we get too into the weeds here, we normally do a segment on the show called Change the System. We're still going to do that segment, but I want to change the system and call this one System the Change, because instead of talking about games we've been playing, I want to talk about games we're going to be playing. Guys, we are entering the 3 months of the year that are
spooky
the most
time.
awesome. Not just spooky time. We got spooky month, then we got food month, and then we got present month. And all three of those are really fun months. For spooky month,
I feel like those are the Animal Crossing holidays.
Yeah, pretty much. What games do you guys have on the plan? What are your spooky games you're going to be playing this year?
The one that I
will go
always
last
play,
because mine will segue into my Change the System. So.
There you go.
I'll let Eugene go first. So.
The one I always play, no matter what. If I can, I'll emulate it if I have to. Sometimes I'll bust out my Super Nintendo cartridge. But Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I love that game. It's super fun. I don't know that it's...
I think there's a remake coming out soon, isn't there?
I think it's already out on the
Yeah,
Switch.
there's something like that happening soon or already out. But yeah, I love that one. But then now that there's this Luigi's Mansion trilogy, and I still haven't played the third one.
Wait, is that a... Oh, you just mean like there is a trilogy? I thought you meant like they announced like...
Right, I was confused for a second too.
I was like, ooh!
That would be really cool, actually. But no, now that there's 3 Luigi's Mansion games, and I still haven't played the third one, I think this is the year for me to actually play all 3 of those ones, and then finally enjoy the third one.
I'll tack onto that. I also have Luigi's Mansion 3. I played about... half of it maybe with my roommate back when I lived at the other house, and then we just dropped off. We completely stopped playing it. I never picked it up again. I have it on my Switch. I will start that game over and play through it. I will say playing single player in that game is really weird. You can tell it was made for a 2-player experience, which kind of sucks, but like still excited for it. I remember liking it. It was one of those games that I went into with a really negative attitude, and I had to kind of like readjust and allow myself to have fun, which is an annoying way to play a game. But yeah.
See, that's kind of how I felt with Luigi's Mansion 2 on the 3DS, where like it played well enough for me. Like I enjoyed it, but I never had the drive to keep going. Luigi's Mansion 3, like one thing I like about it is I can put it down for a while and then pick it up and play through like one floor in an evening and feel like I've gotten,
I had a
my
hard
time's
time
worth out
finishing Dark Moon. Is that the second one?
Yeah, that's the second one. The first time I played that game, I did convince myself to like it, kind of when I did Breath of the Wild for the second time, where I was like, okay, I know what it is now. It's a little different, but I'm going to play it again and go into it knowing what to expect. And I liked it more in my second playthrough. But I definitely had kind of like, you're not my real dad feelings with that game. It's like, the original is just like I know some people say that like the sequels are better because they like quote unquote improve things, but like the original was so good. It was so clean. It wasn't too long. It was one big area, and it did it well. The portrait ghosts were really interesting, and they were all like biologically related. So each one had like a background and a history.
I kind of forgot about that.
I can't wait to get to my Change the System.
It was a really good game. And again, it goes back to what we were talking about pre-show, Eugene. About Nintendo taking chances back then that they don't really seem to do as much now. Like nowadays, it's like, the enemies all kind of have to be like out of Mario games. And like you play a new Paper Mario game, and instead of having like unique characters and races and species, it's like, oh, this is King Bob-omb from Mario 64, but he's in 2D, that kind of stuff. Like, I liked that era where Nintendo was willing to say, throw out the history, start something new, and I feel like like they did that with Luigi's Mansion. It worked really well. Like, we'd never get EGAD if Luigi's Mansion came out today. We'd have, like, Toadsworth as a paranormal investigator.
Totally, right?
Some kind of, like, already pre-established character who's, that. So, yeah, I don't know. But Luigi's Mansion 3, I'm going to play it. It's going to be fun. I haven't played Phasmophobia in, like, a year and a half. Might do that again. That's a cool game. They did a bunch of updates to it. Haven't tried any of them yet. We'll see. And that's probably it for me.
So I guess that means it's my turn. So I'm actually... I usually try to play something, seasonal for October, something that's somewhat spooky. Mm-hmm. And last year I tried to play some more of Luigi's Mansion 3 and again fizzled out on it. But this year I was determined, for a variety of reasons, to go back to a game on the GameCube, The Haunted Mansion.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, loosely based on both the movie and the ride, but also entirely its own thing. And it's like, imagine taking Luigi's Mansion and making it fully 3D instead of, that kind of isometric view you get. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what this is. I mean, you're not running around with a vacuum cleaner or everything, but like every room has its own puzzle you have to solve. Once you solve the puzzle, there are like ghosts hidden around the room that you have to collect. Cool. And then as you collect more of them, you unlock more rooms you can go into. And there's I don't know how many rooms, but there's a lot of them. And, some of them are based on, rooms from the ride. Some of them are based on rooms from the movie. And most of them are just completely original. But, like, the mansion, like, feels like a real place in this game. And I've always loved it. I played it through 2 or 3 times already, but I was just having an urge to play it.
I've seen it in, like, when I used to work at GameStop, I used to see it sitting on the shelves, like, stacks of them. I'm like, nobody cares about that game. But now I wish I could go back for like 10 years and buy one.
It. Yeah, nobody did care about it because the movie wasn't all that beloved and
sure.
It had the movie's kind
like
of
Eddie
iconography.
Murphy?
Yeah. Yeah, so like
the
exterior of the mansion and certain rooms are based on the designs from the movie, but aside from that, it has absolutely nothing to do with the movie. It's a completely original story, completely original characters, and again, like when you're not in those, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 rooms that are directly based on the movie's designs, they're almost completely original designs, and there's.
Well, and who's seen the movie in the last 15 years anyway?
For real.
I mean, I love The Haunted Mansion, so I'll rewatch the movie, once every couple of years.
Even the rooms that are based on the movie are probably going to feel fresh and new to like 99% of the people who try this game based on your recommendation.
But I'm sure you can get it cheap. It was on all of the consoles of the time, so I'm playing it on my Wii. So, I'm playing the GameCube version, but it was on GameCube, Xbox, PlayStation 2. Obviously, the GameCube's the only one that was, that's backwards compatible with anything you might still have on your on your shelf today. But, I love this game. It didn't get enough credit when it was out. It definitely does not have enough credit now, but it's a really original
on eBay right now, and it comes with a free movie pass inside.
Yes, in case you want to go see the Haunted Mansion movie in theaters.
Walk up to the theater and confuse a poor 16-year-old employee. I demand.
But yeah, it's I will have an actual written review on both Infendo.com and the DisneyParkBench.com later by the time most of you are hearing it, later this month. But that's this year's Halloween game. Although I do have another game that I am about to start either tonight or tomorrow night. I just got my Mac Mini with the emulators and everything all hooked up to my TV and ready to go. And I've got a ROM of Metroid Fusion. And I am going to try to play through the entirety of. I didn't get to finish Samus Returns. I had little interest in replaying Super Metroid, but I definitely want to replay Metroid Fusion before Dread comes out, because
that's the direct sequel, basically, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a one of the few Nintendo franchises that actually has a chronological sequence. But yeah, so the end of or at least the events of Metroid Fusion are supposed to segue into Metroid Dread, so that'll give me a bit of a refresher. But yeah, I just booted it up on my emulator, my 55-inch TV screen with this Game Boy Advance game playing on it with like pixel smoothing filters. It looks an incredible sort of terrible, but that's going to be my chosen way to play it.
So if you're feeling crazy, after I beat it the first time on my 3DS, because I was playing it on 3DS, I was like, this would be cool if it had 3D. And then I booted up the GBA emulator on my Oculus, and there's some really cool like parallax effects that you can turn on and I bet you that you have a Quest, right? I bet you there's a Quest GBA emulator you can download too. So if you're feeling squirrely, give it a shot.
I might give that a shot, but yeah, like right now my plan is to play it on the big screen TV and get the full experience of this portable game on the big screen.
Right.
I could have pulled out my GameCube and played it on the Game Boy Player, but yeah, that just seemed like overkill.
Well, I was pretty disappointed because as we were talking, I realized, it would be a great game that's kind of horror adjacent that I've always wanted to play but never been able to is the Danganronpa series.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't come out until early December, so that will have to be next Halloween's game.
Speaking of horror adjacent games that I haven't played yet but plan on playing this month, I purchased a all right. I just once I'd like to get through a podcast without this happening.
I was gonna say, like, he completely cut out
and then looked exasperated.
Justin audio.
God. And I don't know whether it's the microphone or the computer or what, but
if the episode gets out of sync again, I guess you know who to blame. I didn't go back and fix it, by the way.
Hey,
just
Eugene,
said, fuck it.
while we're off, by the way, well, kind of off. Do we need a break? Because I'm thinking we just jump right into change the system. We're pretty much doing it anyway.
Yeah,
so.
I figured
that was why I went last, because I figured my Halloween games are segueing into my change the system anyway.
Yeah, I figure we'll just let Justin talk about the games he's been playing, and then after we get back from this short break, and then we'll talk about the games we've been playing, I suppose.
All right, I'm ready to go. I can clap if you want.
Yeah, let's do that in 3, 2, 1. I hope you know what you were saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I picked up Alien Isolation when it was on sale a couple of months ago, with the intention of playing it in bed, but after I decided to get the Switch OLED, I'm waiting for that because Alien games with complete blackness sound like an awesome idea. So
Sure.
I'm probably going to be playing that in bed with my OLED and in bed with my OLED. And so since that doesn't come out until next week, or I guess the week after next, I'll probably start playing Alien Isolation then.
That launches with Dread, right? Like it's day and date?
Yeah. So, and then I have to go through the obnoxious transfer process. So that'll be fun.
Ask Steve about that. You can talk to him while you're doing it.
Yeah. It sucks that you can't do what you could do with the 3DS and just...
I know.
Pop out the SD card, pop it in the other one, and just say, okay, this Switch is mine now.
Yeah, Nintendo, come on, get on it.
Anywho, so, yeah, other than that, it's been Picross. It's been Link to the Past, my usual kind of filler games, but Haunted Mansion is the big one that I've been playing. Review to come, and then Metroid, then Alien, which is a funny little segue there since they're kind of mirror images of each other.
Right.
Well, I want to hear about the games Eugene's been playing, but before that, I just want to say one more time because I briefly mentioned it. Guys, if you haven't played it, Phasmophobia is an amazing game by a small development team. Pretty sure it's free, or it's like so cheap that I don't remember paying for it. But man, it's fun if you have like 2 or 3 people to play with. You go into a house, the ghosts are random, you're searching objects, you're using like thermometers to gauge like which rooms are the coldest. You're finding out which ghost it is. Then you're getting the heck out before the ghost murders you one by one. Like, it's a fun game.
Yeah, that actually sounds fascinating.
It was very like rough alpha when I first played it, but apparently the devs have been working like really hard on it.
Did you play it in VR, or how did you play it?
I played it regular, but it does have a VR option. I just play it on Steam from my PC, but you turn off the lights and you're like in the game anyway, so it's like, but like it actually uses like your microphone, and it gets like stronger the closer you are to somebody. So you can be in like the next room, and then you're screaming and you're like, I think Ruth, I still remember the name of my first ghost was Ruth Williams. And I'm like, I think Ruth is in the house in the living room. Then all of a sudden like the door slams and I'm like, dude, was that you? And then I come downstairs and he's dead, and it's like, it's a cool
There's
game,
not a lot of games that did that, like positional audio, I think is what it's called, or I don't know, but basically like where you get close to them, you can kind of hear them a little bit better type of thing. I remember one of the Call of Duties did that really well, and I thought it was just like the coolest thing when it first happened.
It's a great tactic in horror games too, because it forces you to communicate with people and either choose to actually be close, or you can cover more distance but you can't really talk, and just really fun. And then when you die, obviously your microphone shuts off and nobody can hear you except other people who've already died, and then you're just wandering the house. It's like a ghost waiting for them to get murdered.
So when you die, do you become a ghost and you can start scaring everybody else? Because that would be awesome.
You become a ghost, and then if I remember right, we downloaded a couple of mods that allowed you to like pick up objects and throw them. I don't think that was built into the game. I think that was something that we downloaded. But yeah, you couldn't. I don't think it was full on, because it wasn't like a PvP kind of thing. But you could actually like throw things and try to like get people's attention and stuff. It was cool.
That's cool.
Again, like I said, it's an indie game by either one dude or like a small company, like a small team of maybe like 2 or 3. So it's rough. It's not a pretty game. It's not a AAA title, but it was one of my favorite games of last year.
Did I mention I've been playing a GameCube game? So graphics are clearly not, my top priority.
Perfect. Well, I recommend it. And again, like I said, it's way more fun with friends because you have people to talk to and stuff, but there are solo options. And I think they might have even added a solo campaign in one of the updates I think I saw. So I don't know. Like I said, I haven't booted into it in like a good year, but something to check out. Anyway, Eugene, I'm sorry. What games have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing quite a few actually. I'm only going to talk about the, I guess the new games that I've been playing, because nobody wants to talk about hear me talk about PUBG or any, Pokemon Go, any of that. But there was a event, and I got my Oshawott. How do you say that thing? The
Oshawott?
Yeah, I got.
Was there a shiny Oshawott event? Okay, so I uninstalled Pokemon Go. Okay, not because I hate the game or anything like that, because it kept asking me to do like 500 megabyte like update data stuff, and I ran out of space. It's like every update is like half a gig, and I don't have that much free space. So finally I was like, it was like, you have to get rid of some apps. The only apps I have left are like the apps I use every day. I was like, I can't do this anymore. So that's where I am right now. Yeah, so I'd want to go back to it. God, tell me if there's ever a shiny Fennekin event, will you? Because I need one of them. But
sure. Yeah, no, I guess if we're talking about Pokemon Go, that was a cool event just because I got like 20 something of those shinies, so that was fun.
I really should have been there for that, because Oshawott would have been a fun one, but nice.
So, but other than that, let's talk about some new stuff. So we talked about it, I think, briefly last week, but we didn't actually have changed the system. I got Cruise and Blast, I think is what it's called.
Oh, that's the one I was looking at.
I just got some discounted eShop credits and thinking about blowing some of it on either that or WarioWare.
It's fun. I like it a lot, and here's why. It's it kind of goes back to like a game where I don't really have to pay a lot of attention. Like I can't play a Mario Kart and not pay attention, you know? Like when I'm playing Cruise and Blast, I can just be like watching TV or, you know, listening to a podcast, like doing other things, like whatever. But like it's just a pure arcade racer. And even more so, like it has it's just really cool explosion physics-y type stuff, right? So like I can knock another car into like a windmill, and then the windmill will like explode and go all over the course. So it's really cool. Now, going back to Justin's GameCube graphic comment, it kind of looks like a GameCube game. I'm not gonna lie. Like the graphics aren't the best, but you know, whatever. I didn't go there for that. It's a budget title. I think it was like $40 or something like that. Yeah. Having a lot of fun.
And I mean, it doesn't look great, but there's a lot going on screen, so it kind of makes up for it in just like overwhelming spectacle instead of just looking good.
Yeah,
so,
totally. Yeah,
I've seen some videos of it, and like really,
it's
like,
wild.
You might have encouraged me to get it.
I never even heard of it, and I saw somebody post on Twitter where they were playing as like a unicorn.
Yeah,
and I saw like 30 seconds of gameplay footage, and I was like, oh, I want this game.
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun. So the first thing I did, I booted up the arcade mode where you just, you know, play like basically single races kind of. But I booted up Redwood because I remember the Redwood Forest was not Redwood, Death Valley, because I remember Death Valley was in the Cruisin' USA. And when I first started the race, I was like, oh, this is like exactly the same as the original game, and then like, you know, a few seconds in, it's like, oh no, here's all the new stuff. But it's really cool. Yeah, like they really play on your nostalgia in that, you know, like you see like the train coming in.
You might have just sold this game to me.
I've never really played a cruising game enough to have nostalgia, but I still kind of want to try it because it just sounds like so much fun. See, now my dilemma is I want that, but I also really want Chocobo Racing or whatever it's called, and I know that doesn't come out for like a year or something, but like, man, that game looks like a Diddy Kong Racing wannabe, and you know.
Sure, yeah. No, Cruisin' Blast is fun. I haven't put a whole lot of time into it, granted, but you know, it's a fun game. It has like because every game has to now, right? It has like RPG mechanics where like you're leveling up everything, and I could do without that, I think, but you know, I guess it gives you something to work towards, you know. Tell me. Go ahead.
Sorry. Tell me this, because this is something that always kind of bums me out when I start a new game. Like I tried Brawlhalla because like a lot of our listeners were getting into that for a while. You load up a game and you go to the menu, and the menu looks kind of cheap, and you realize, oh God, what have I done? This is not a AAA game kind of thing. And then like you see there's like a weekly challenge. You can earn coins in a weekly challenge. And then there's a battle pass.
Basically a mobile game that got dumped onto Switch.
There's a battle pass for $10. And then there's these characters that you can buy for coins that you get from the battle pass. And it's like, is it like that, or is it just like, here's a racing game?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen anything like that. I don't think that you can pay like real money to unlock things. Like basically how it works is if you want to unlock a car or, you know, things like that, you can even unlock like engine parts and stuff like that. I haven't gotten that deep into it, but you pay cash, and to get cash, you win races, you do tricks in the races, you knock people off the course in the races. Cool. And you can actually find
that part makes me want Rush back.
Yeah, right.
Rush used to have a death mode where if a car exploded, it's just like busted car would just stay on the track.
That reminds me of how F-Zero, all the F-Zero games, really. I'm thinking of GX.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how they used to have like elimination races?
Yep.
It's like,
F-Zero X had that too.
If you haven't crossed the finish line, you're going to blow up. And, oh, man, that was fun.
No. F-Zero X had one where you were actually like, you had to damage, it was you and 30 other cars, you had to damage them and be the last man standing.
Yeah, that was another way to knock people out. But they also had ones where it was like, oh, if you didn't cross the finish line by lap 3, then, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, this game is fun. It's cool. I'm not feeling pressured to, like, do things that I don't want to do, right? Because like there's lots of ways to earn cash. Like you literally just can play arcade mode and win a race, and you get a bunch of cash to unlock some stuff, So there's a bunch of different modes as well. So there's like multiplayer, there's what they're calling tour mode, where you go to 4 different races on the globe, and go to Hong Kong and then race to Singapore, whatever, that type of thing. So it's fun. I will say that I am missing a little bit of the old style cruising game, where it was kind of like a directed, okay, you're going to start in California and you have to race all the way to the other side of the United States. So I wish there was like a mode like that. But aside from that, it's fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. Cool. The other game that I put a very, very, very brief amount of time into is actually a mod for Breath of the Wild. It's called The Legend of Zelda Second Wind.
I saw a trailer for. I posted that in Steve's Discord. I saw a trailer for that like just the other day. They added like Orden from.
That's exactly what I downloaded. Yeah. Yep. It's because there's a new town.
So good. They added like story and characters, and it looks really good, dude. What do you think?
Weird.
Very, very,
really good.
very, very, very. Like 30 minutes in, I downloaded it, and I because it's it's a mod, so you have to like do all the stuff. So by the time I did all the stuff, it was like, okay, it's time for bed, but I still want to like play it, and it's fun.
So what are you
cool.
playing it on?
It's a PC mod, so you have to play it on. Well, as far as I know, maybe you can mod like your Wii U or your Switch to play it, but as far as I know, you have to play it on PC.
Okay, I will be so curious to hear your opinions on this, because you know my feelings with this game, and I'm really curious to see what like a well done mod can do to add some like stuff, So really curious to hear what you think of it when you put some time into it.
The one thing I will say is because I specifically went to Orden, and it is probably the most fleshed out town in.
So what do they do? Just like take the geometry and everything from Twilight Princess and just dump it into the.
Well, they built no.
Engine?
They actually like built a town based on like what Orden would look like thousands of years in the future, kind of stuff. Yeah, and so not to get too much into this because I've only seen the trailer, but they have like a blacksmith where you can supposedly buy weapons, which is something that I've always felt was missing from the game. There's like a shop that you can go to buy.
New quests even.
There's potions that you can buy. Like there's red potions, blue potions, purple potions. Yeah, they added a lot of like classic Zelda staples to the game, which looks really cool. So I can't wait. I hope you play a lot of it this week. I really want to know what you think. I really want to hear everything about this.
I saw the announcement of the trailer or whatever, and I was like, yeah, I got it. I'm
so amazed that because I just saw the announcement trailer too, and I didn't think anybody else had heard of it. Like nobody mentioned it when I posted it in the Discord channel, so I figured like, okay, nobody's interested in this. But like, really, really cool that you found out about it too, dude. Super excited.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, it's it was right up my alley, right? Because I think like you and I both were kind of missing the story aspects of the Zelda, and then this looks like it's going to bring a little bit of that back. So yeah, I'm really excited for it. And Nintendo hasn't like cease and desisted the hell out of it yet or anything yet. So it's, the download is still available. So, but yeah, that's really it. That's it for me. So what you guys got? I guess Lukas, you're up.
Yeah, I guess I am. I actually made a list in our chat that I didn't share publicly because I didn't want to forget everything that I've been up to. I'll start with the simplest one because like you, I've only put like 20 minutes into it because I just started playing it like today. Guys, I am fully invested in this game that's coming out next week, the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl game. That's a Smash Bros. Like clone.
I know, Justin. That's how I feel.
I need another game that I spend $40 on and have nobody to play it with. I want it so badly.
I have been obsessively watching the gameplay overviews for each character. Every day they drop like a new one. Today was Reptar, so I got to see all of his moves and how he plays and everything. And unlike Eugene, I'm sure would be really into like the this character can move into
that's
this
me.
combo. and that's what this game is attracting, like the Melee audience. Like people are like shouting from the rooftops, Melee is finally dead, and this is the game that killed it. And I feel so bad for them because if the hype is overhyped, they're gonna hate it. But I just like it because it looks adorable. There's 20 Nickelodeon characters. They're adding more down the road. I get to play as Invader Zim. Like it's just I'm real like they did a trailer the other day for Oblina from Our Real Monsters, the little snake, black and white snake girl, and I forgot how much I loved that show as a kid until I saw that trailer. And like you're fighting at the dump, and there's like the little sound from the trailer, and she's like Sonic rolling into things and like hovering with her eye stalk. It's got so much personality, and it looks so fun. It's cheap. Like, it's made by a cheap company. There's no voice acting right now. They've said they want to add it down the road, but supposedly it would cost like half their total budget to get the voice actors.
Sure.
Yeah, so like I get that, you know. But my point of this story is that game comes out next Tuesday. Already downloaded and waiting to play it. In the meantime, I have been pacifying myself with another game they made, Nickelodeon Kart Racing 2 or something, which is basically just Mario Kart with Nickelodeon characters. Because I'm all about this now, dude. Like, this game is like my most wanted game all of a sudden. So like I've been playing a little bit of that just in my free time, just to kind of like, you know, okay, let's dabble in, you know, I can't fight as Zim, but I can race as Zim for a minute.
Right.
So I've been doing that, but have not played enough to really give a good impression of it.
I can just imagine the storylines you're gonna, you know, together.
I'm so excited. I really hope, like, there's all of a sudden there's like these obscure characters that I'm like, that I haven't thought about Nickelodeon in years, but it's like as soon as they announced there's going to be like DLC add-ons, I was like, okay, the girl from My Life as a Teenage Robot would be amazing to like fly around the stage. The angry beavers, the human from Invaders. It's like I've got all these characters that, like, I suddenly want to see in this game that like I didn't even care about like a month ago. So I'm really excited to play that next week. That's that. I've been playing another Nickelodeon game, Battle for Bikini Bottom, not because of this game. I started playing that one again because we had that conversation about gaming being like a job and a chore and everything, and wanting to play games just for the sake of it.
Right.
When I played it a year ago when it first came out, I thought it had aged horribly, and I was really unimpressed with it. And I had the same feeling about Banjo-Kazooie. I'm realizing now, I think the problem was just my mindset, because I've been playing Battle for Bikini Bottom again, and I think it's fantastic. Like, I think it's a great, like, it's a Banjo-Kazooie type game, and it does an amazing job of it. I don't know what I was complaining about. I think I was just upset that I wasn't, like, progressing in the traditional way that you progress in games now, right? Which is, like, level this up and level that up and stuff. But, like, it's fun to just go, and there's all these, I don't know if you guys were really, maybe Eugene was part of that generation, but I don't know how much of the SpongeBob generation you guys were. But like, I grew up on that show, right? Like, that show came out when I was like,
it was like 9, right after me.
I remember, I was in college when it came out, but I still, you know, loved it and you know, would watch it.
I remembered making fun of one of my female friends because she had a snail, Gary the snail, that had meow on his binder, and I was like, "Snails don't meow, you stupid nerd." You know, like that's the age I was when the show came out. But there's
I was so young that I was still a bully.
Yeah, but there's all these stages from like the show, right? Like there's like Mermaid Man's lair, and there's the rock bottom that he goes to in the episode where he gets like stranded at the deep ocean and stuff. Like the Flying Dutchman's like ghost pirate ship and stuff. Just all of this like fan servicey, like amazing like level design kind of stuff. So it's been fun just like exploring the environments and going like, I remember that from the show, you know, like that kind of stuff. So that's been fun. I'm probably about halfway through the game now, maybe a third of the way. I just fought the first boss, and if I remember right, there's a Robo Patrick, a Robo Sandy, and then the final boss is like Robo SpongeBob.
That's great.
Yeah, it's pretty great, and like 99% of the voice acting is perfect. They're missing the guy who does Mr. Krabs. He was never in the original. I don't know why they didn't get him for this one. Clancy Jones, I think. So you get this like instead of his real voice, you get like, "Ahoy there, SpongeBob! I'm Mr. Krabs," and it's like, "No, you're not." And then they never got Ernest Borgnine in either version to do Mermaid Man. So obviously he's dead now, but he was never in the original.
I was gonna say, was he alive?
So instead of the classic Mermaid Man voice, you just get this kind of like, "We must stop the evil," and it doesn't sound good. But other than that, like all the voice actors are there, and it's really nostalgic, you know. The other two games I've been playing, which I will keep very brief, Mario Golf is a thing. They added that DLC that we never talked about, like free DLC content. Koopa Troopa is a playable character, which, yay. Much more important, Ninji is a playable character, and he's the best thing ever.
I saw Ninji.
He's my new main. I really
I
like
love how they get these weird, obscure,
me too.
I'm so hoping that the last Smash character is going to be another like Piranha Plant kind of, like here's the most screwed up, weird, random thing we could think of.
And
enjoy.
To twist into that conversation for just a moment, I don't think at this point there is a Smash Brothers character that could be announced that would wow me. Like everything's been done. We've gotten everything. Like. And I mean, short of like a surprise like Geno reveal,
right? I was gonna say I'm still kind of holding my breath for Geno, but
Sakurai or Iwata or like Miyamoto, like short of that, like
I already have those in my Smash Brothers.
Yeah, short of that, I just don't know whether Master Hand,
that would be cool.
I don't know what they're gonna do that would, because this could be. Let's be real, they're going to make another Smash Bros. Game someday, but I don't think they're ever going to get this cast of characters back. There's so many
especially with all the licensing.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh, right?
This could be like the last Smash Bros. Character that gets added to like the best version of the game we ever see, That's a lot to live up to. And if it's just, like, no offense, Eugene, like I'd be excited to see him too, but if it's just Waluigi, it's going to be like, okay, that's cool, I guess. But like that now, there's a cap on that whole, thing. So I don't know, but going back to Mario Golf.
I want it to be
ahead.
like Sora or something. That
would be interesting.
Something.
I mean, that's what the rumors are saying, but
just make it. Just let it be something that would be like. Well, okay, this is never gonna happen, but I was gonna say something that would be universal, something that everybody's gonna love.
Well, see, that's the problem though, because I wouldn't care about Sora because I've never played Kingdom Hearts.
Right. I don't care about Sora either. So,
and I am definitely everybody. So no, it's gonna be a hard one. But back to Mario Golf, because we've got to wrap the show up at some point. They did add 2 new courses too, which I'm assuming I'm the only one here who's played those. Well, Eugene doesn't have the game.
I don't have the game.
So. Yeah. There's an ice course, which is cool. There's a second desert course, which is weird because we already have a desert course, but they're new courses, so that's kind of neat. Mario Golf is kind of weird because it shows you like every course when you're playing, like every hole. It shows you the whole like course you're playing on. So you kind of don't really feel like you're in like different holes as much as you just kind of feel like you're in like, a big open world golf game, which is kind of weird. I guess the reason they do that is for the running mode. But I never play that mode. So for me, it's just like, this is kind of odd. Like now I'm hitting the ball from this side. So.
It's funny because whenever I play story mode, it's always the whatever they call it, dash mode, whatever. And I usually play Mario Golf at night when I'm trying to unwind because you figure golf, it's a nice relaxing game. And then I try to progress in the story mode and oh my god, I gotta rush so I can be the first one to the ball so that I can shave precious seconds off of my time because otherwise the other one will get ahead of me and I'll lose the thing. I have to as welcome as it is to have this cool exciting thing in a golf game, sometimes I'm with Lucas. I just want to press the button and watch him hit it and then move on.
I'm very traditional with my Mario Golf, I found. I did start story mode just to dip a toe in it the other day. I'm not crazy about it. I mean, it kind of brings back that like Mario Golf Game Boy nostalgia to a degree, but it feels like it's just like a lot less secrets and a lot more kind of like go to point A, go to point B kind of stuff.
Sure. It doesn't have the exploration aspect. Like if you want and you don't already have it, get Golf Story.
Well, exactly. When I was complaining to Eugene before the show too about this one, I complained to Eugene about everything. Because it's like back in the day, it was like, it's like Kid and Plum and what's his face and the other guy. And it's like, oh, we're the human characters and we're brand new and there's all these people and they're all humans, but there's also Mario characters. And it was like really different and stuff. And in this one, it opens up and it's like, I'm Toadette and I'm Boo and I'm the Koopa guy and we're gonna be your rivals, and it's just like, okay, cool, I guess, whatever, So it's a thing, it exists, it's fine. I made Plum from the Game Boy games as my like me avatar.
Nice.
Kind of disappointed to find out I couldn't take her hat off, so you never get to see the pigtails, which is kind of a bummer, but other than that, it's cool. I'm making her very like control based because I kind of remember her playing like that, like weak but like super straight shots kind of stuff. So just kind of trying to like emulate and recapture some nostalgia. The last game, I wasn't sure if that was like you opening your breath to talk or if it was
just a yawn.
The last game, and then we will be done because it is clearly bedtime. I've been playing is Mario Maker 2, and I already told you guys about that. I played it with Steve. We got on like about a week ago, and we were playing one of the levels Steve made. I think was what we did that night. It was very short. We just kind of got on for a minute, and we played around a Mario Maker because Steve's been watching one of his guys, Ghost Slayer 5000, is a streamer on Twitch that he's friends with, and this guy's been like playing people's levels, and he played one of Steve's levels. So we're actually going to be getting together with him, I think, next week to have him play some of the levels we made. But I was talking to Steve, and we were like, you know what we should do? We should make each other levels, and then we should get on multiplayer together and play them like cooperatively and get through them and everything. So we did that, and we got together last week after the show, last Thursday, and we played each other's levels, and we recorded the whole thing because, you know, that was a thing we had to do. So those are up on my YouTube channel now if you want to watch the first part of that. But Steve did like an upside down Zelda level with like really tight platforming, so you have to like walk and stuff. Like really cool how you can do stuff with that. Because yeah, there's like a Master Sword item that makes you like 8-bit Link in that game too, and you have arrows and bombs. And
That's
all that
cool.
cool stuff.
Forgot
Yeah,
about
really
that.
cool. I made a Hell level from Hell. It's a underwater swimming level where you can only see like a small circle around your character, and there's like spiked jellyfish everywhere and thwomps.
Oh, you're
You have
that
to,
type of
you have to like
maker.
swim through the tiny crevice in the middle of the thwomps to get the so we played for about an hour and a half maybe. We did 2 levels that were not our levels. Those probably each took about 5 or 10 minutes. We did Steve's level. That probably took about 5 or 10 minutes. And then the rest of the time was my level. So, yeah, it was an ordeal, but we were laughing,
was it
we were
really,
crying.
really, really hard multiplayer? It probably was exponentially harder to beat that level multiplayer, right?
So there's 2 things about Mario Maker 2 online multiplayer that make it really hard. One is it's kind of laggy. And it also like pauses you when people die. So if you're like, say you're Mario and there are jellyfish directly above and below you, and you have to swim in a tiny little area to stay alive. When one player dies and it glitches out for a second, and then you come back and you mistime the thing, you fall and you die. That's one of the hard
It's
things.
kind of like those 2-player games where the second player could pause it even when only the first player was playing, and they'd pause it just before you hit an enemy.
That's why I had a friend like that. That's why we always turned off pausing in Smash Bros. I respect them for putting that in the game. The ability to turn off mid-game pausing. The second thing that causes a lot of problems is, especially when you're swimming, if you bump the top player, both players kind of bounce in different directions. So there were a lot of moments where like I'd be with Steve and I'd be like below him and he'd be above me, and like we'd be swimming, and then like either I would go up or Steve would go down. He'd bounce and he'd jump right into like a spike, you know? And then we'd run out of time because there were only 500 seconds is the maximum. And we'd get like almost to the end, and then we'd both die, and we'd go back to the checkpoint. And so yeah, go. What I'm saying is go freaking watch my YouTube channel for the next month, because that's where those are all going to be coming out.
Sure.
But good game, man. Really fun game. I would love to do some more of those. Like Mario Maker is, I forget how much fun Mario Maker is until I go back into it. And then it's just like, you know, it's an endless Mario experience. You know, the only limit is you. So
It's an evergreen experience, right? You just can
very much.
Yeah, just keep going back.
Yeah. And that is everything that I've been playing. Next week, I will be able to tell you all about Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, because that is all I'm going to be playing. But until then, I think that's it for the show, actually, and I think that we are done. So thank you guys so much for watching. Next week, I guess maybe we'll try to do a game, because it's going to be 6:15. So
It's a fiver.
yeah, I guess we'll figure that out off the air, or more likely, we will plan it during the break on the show after we realize none of us have come up with a game. Well, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next week with another episode. Bye-bye! See you real soon.
Adios.
In case I don't see you again.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Peace. Hasta pronto.
Hasta luego.
Hasta mañana.
Okay, that was
Hasta
good.
miércoles.
So Bowser's golf
Miércoles
course
is Wednesday,
broken.
isn't it?
Yes.
Well, I'll see you on Wednesday. What?
I was just confused why the choice of Wednesday.
I just saying the first word that came into my mind.
I'm
the
gonna
online version
end the
of
stream.
Bowser's Course.
Bye,